Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Business Inspections, Housing and Zoning Committee for today, which is March 14th. We are awaiting quorum, so as soon as we get one of the other three members of the committee to be present, we will begin. We now have a quorum of the committee. I've been joined by council members Osman, Rainville, and Chavez, which is a quorum of the committee. We will be able to complete the council's business. We'll start with the consent agenda, starting with item number 5, which are the liquor license approvals, and 6 are the liquor license renewals. Item number 7 are the gambling license approvals, and 8 is a grant we are accepting for a building official training program. Item number 9 are the pre-development grant applications for the Met Council's Livable Communities account. Item 10 is registration for a title of city-owned property at 1403 14th Avenue North. Item 11 is the annual report for the McPhail Center for Arts. Item 12 is the modification of an existing commercial property development loan with Mayfield Real Estate Holdings. Item 13 is the Home Investment Partnership funding allocation. Item number 14 are changes to our Consolidated Action Plan budget amendments. Item 15 is setting a public hearing for the 2023 Consolidated Action Plan. Item 16 is a rezoning on behalf of Simpson Housing for properties at 2330, 34, and 40 First Avenue South. Item 17 is setting a public hearing for the 1301 West Lake Street Tax Increment Financing Plan. Item 18 is referring to staff the subject matter of an ordinance regarding skateboard ramps and structures. Item 19 is land use rezoning policies. This is referring to staff the large body of work surrounding completing the 2040 plan. Are there any items anyone would like to pull on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll move the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. We'll move on to our thank you all who are here for those items. We'll move on to item number 1 in our public hearing agenda. This is Teacup at 2625 Hennepin Avenue. Ms. Lingo, maybe you should introduce yourself with your new title.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, committee members. I'm Amy Lingo, Manager of Licenses and Consumer Services. And I am presenting an application from Teacup Uptown, owned by Teacup Uptown Corporation, on behalf of Inspector Muhammad Ishmael. The business is located at 2645 Hennepin Avenue in the 10th Ward, and the applicant is requesting an on-sale liquor with Sunday sales and limited entertainment license. There are 30 seats on the interior and 24 seats on an outside deck. The proposed hours are Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. On February 17th, 2023, notices were sent to property owners within 600 feet. Notices were also sent to the Lowry Hill East Neighborhood Association and Council Member Aisha Chugtai. We have received one response from the community who is concerned about noise and parking issues. There have been no complaints, 311 calls, or police calls associated with this business, and there are no current operating conditions. The Licensing and Consumer Services Division recommends approval of an on-sale liquor with Sunday sales and a limited entertainment license. And this concludes my presentation. I stand for any questions.
Are there any questions for Ms. Lingo on item number 1? Before we open the public hearing, I'd like the record to acknowledge we've been joined by Councilmember Chugtai, who would like to be recorded as voting aye on the consent agenda. We will then move to the public hearing agenda and open the public hearing on item number 1. I understand 3 young people are here from Teacup. You are welcome to speak or not. Oh, come on, tell us what you're doing.
Hi, I'm Brad Woodford. I'll be one of the managers for Teacup. Lynn and David are here. They're the owners. Teacup's a bubble tea chain, family-owned, has multiple locations throughout the Twin Cities. With this new location in Uptown, we're excited. We're going to be serving some boba and Asian flavor-inspired cocktails along with the bubble tea, along with Taiwanese and Japanese street food. And yeah, we're really excited, and thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time to be here, and both of you, congratulations to you. We'll see if there's anyone else here to speak to this issue. Anyone? Anyone? If not, we'll close the public hearing. I'll call on Councilmember Chugtai.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move approval of this item. Thank you so much for being here.
To the clerk, I'd like to move to recognize that Councilmember Ellison is present and would like to be recorded as voting aye on the consent agenda. On Councilmember Chugtai's motion to approve item number 1, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. Congratulations to you. Welcome. We'll move on to item number 2. Ms. Shaw welcome. This is a bond issuance, host approval for 236 Clifton Avenue. Ms. Shaw, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm Becky Shaw from CPED Business Development. You have before you a request to authorize host approval for the issuance of tax-exempt revenue bonds by the City of Independence, Minnesota, for financing renovations and improvements to 180 Degrees facility located at 236 Clifton Avenue. 180 Degrees is a Minnesota nonprofit providing transitional housing and emergency shelter to youth and adults throughout the state. At this time, they're planning to issue $6 million in tax-exempt bond financing for improvements to both the St. Cloud and Minneapolis facilities. Improvements to the Minneapolis facility include privacy fencing, security systems, upgraded windows and treatments, technological upgrades, asbestos removal, and interior improvements totaling $3 million. The St. Cloud facility will undergo an additional $3 million in improvements to renovate and expand their current 12-bed youth shelter. Minneapolis and St. Cloud have been asked to authorize host approval for the City of Independence, Minnesota, to issue bank-qualified bonds for the two projects. Selecting a third-party single issuer allows 180 Degrees to minimize their issuance fees and costs to finance the project. And I do have individuals here from 180 Degrees, and I will stand to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Ms. Shaw on item number 2? Seeing none, thank you so much for your report. We'll open the public hearing on item number 2, which is host approval for a bond issuance for 180 Degrees. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Where are the people from 180 Degrees? Oh,
Yeah, Dan is the CFO for the organization.
did you want to say something, sir? You come on up. It's all good. You're doing good work. You might as well talk about it.
So this is our opportunity. The last time Clifton Residence was updated was in 1973, when a guy by the name of Robbie Robinson opened up the Clifton Residence for guys coming out of prison. And so it's been 50 years since this upgrade. So we obtained a $1 million grant from Hennepin County, and with the additional $3 million in the civic bond, we will do the planned renovation. A lot of it is based on just the human inhabitants of our kitchen, our bedrooms, our garage space, our courtyard, and then there's a significant amount of money being spent on technology. About $250,000 alone to help us monitor the floors, to make sure that we have perimeter cameras, to make sure that we're being good neighbors and stewards of our resources. So I want to thank the community for 50 years of operating at 236 Clifton, and you've been a big supporter of ours, and also when we have challenges, we come together to meet those challenges in the community. And I would be remiss if I left out that on April 27th, we're having our 50th anniversary celebration, which is going to be at the Women's Club in Minneapolis, which is the neighborhood where we all started. We now have shelters in Rochester for youth under the age of 18, Chanhassen, St. Cloud, and we have Brittany's Place in St. Paul, which is the state's largest shelter for sexually exploited girls under the age of 18. So the communities that we live and work in, I'm a Minneapolis resident, have supported us throughout these years, and I appreciate the support, and we see this as literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Thank you so much for being here and for your work and your testimony. It's greatly appreciated. The best thing you can do to be a good neighbor is to improve your property, and I'm really pleased that we were able, Janet and others were able to figure out a way to do this.
Yeah, we're excited about the project, and we've got Watson Forsberg, who is our primary contractor, and they have done tremendous work in this community for affordable housing, churches, Dorothy Day Center, some properties in North Minneapolis that I drive by every day on my way home. and some of our families have lived in North Minneapolis. So I really appreciate the support from the community.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I will move approval of the host bond issuance. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to item number 3, which is Best Academy bond issuance at 1300 Olson Memorial Highway, presented by Ms. Shaw.
You have before you a request to authorize the issuance of up to $15 million in charter school lease revenue bonds for the Best Academy project. Best Academy is located at 1300 Olson Memorial Highway. The school was established as a private school in 1992, then became a public charter school in 1999. Best Academy's facility currently houses Harvest Prep, serving kindergarten through 4th grade students, Best East, serving kindergarten through 4th grade English language learning students, and Best Middle School, serving 5th through 8th grades. These schools together as Harvest Best Academy are one of the highest performing schools for African American students in Minnesota. The building is currently owned by Seed Daycare, a nonprofit daycare occupying a small section of the building. This proposed project includes the acquisition of the property by Best Academy's real estate entity, Best Affiliated Building Company, the purchase of a parking lot located at 1401, 1407, 1413, 1419, and 1427 8th Avenue North, deferred maintenance and improvements to the facility, a bond reserve fund, and cost of issuance. And Seed Daycare will remain as a tenant in the facility. The total project costs are estimated at just under $15 million, and as conduit revenue bonds, the funds for this bond issuance will come from bondholders and be repaid by the borrower. The city does not have a security position and will not be responsible for repayment of the debt. And I do have Eric Mahmood here, who is the executive director of the school, and can answer any questions that you have.
Are there any questions for Ms. Shaw on item number 3? Seeing none, you're just terrific, Ms. Shaw. Thank you so much for these reports that are very clear and easy to understand.
Thank you, Chair Goodman.
We'll open the public hearing on item number 3, which is a bond issuance for Best Academy, and I will invite Eric to come up and say a few words. No, now I don't see him. Mr. Mahmood, thank you for being here and for your incredible work in the community.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. As was stated, Harvest Best Academy has been in existence for now over 30 years. Actually, we're celebrating our 30th year anniversary in North Minneapolis, and it's really been a blessing. We have about 600 students that we serve, kindergarten through 8th grade, and love serving our community. And now we want to really bring a palace to our kings and queens that we serve every day.
Anything else you'd like to add, sir?
Not at this time.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
today.
for your
Thank you for your
support.
good work. Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am happy to move approval of this. And, once upon a time, I actually spent a little bit of time attending Harvest Prep, as a Northside youth. So this is a cool opportunity, and I want to thank you, Mr. Mahmood, we go way back, and I just want to thank you for your continued advocacy for the North Side. I wasn't the best behaved student back in those days, but I like to think that Harvest Prep was a part of how I got here. So thank you.
On the motion to approve, Councilmember Rainville.
Mr. Mahmood, I just want to thank you for everything you do and all your staff. You're doing great work in the community, and happy here to vote yes to support you.
On Councilmember Ellison's motion to approve, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item is approved. Thank you for being here today, sir. We'll move on to item number 4, which is our last public hearing. This is the 200 Central Project Inclusionary Zoning Tax Increment Financing Plan. Dan Lauer, Schumacher, did I get your name wrong already? Schumacher is here. Thank you so much for being here, sir, and we're excited to hear your report.
Thank you. Committee Chair Goodman, members of the committee, my name is Dan Lauer Schumacher. I'm a senior project coordinator on the Residential Finance Division at CPED. And I am before you today recommending approval of the city's second inclusionary zoning TIF project. The 200 Central project is the 27-story, 359-unit mixed-use housing development proposed by Lattice. The project is in the Marcy Homes neighborhood in Ward 3. The project will feature a mix of studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom units plus amenities, including underground parking and 2 rooftop patios. The city's inclusionary zoning policy includes an option for developers to seek revenue loss offset financial assistance from the city, in which case 20% of the total units in the project must be affordable to and occupied by households that are at or below 50% area median income. For this Lattice project, this translates to 72 affordable units at or below 50% median income. It is worth noting that an additional 108 units will be restricted to 80% AMI, a requirement of their equity investor. The IZ-TIF assistance for this project has been sized according to the council-adopted revenue loss offset policy. This IZ-TIF assistance is the only financing being requested from the city. The other project funding sources include developer equity, investor equity, an environmental response fund grant from Hennepin County, and a brownfield grant from DEED. The total development costs are estimated at approximately $145 million. This project is slated to close in June and start construction in August of this year. The 200 Central TIF plan establishes a new housing TIF district with a term of 26 years. Pending council approval, the city will issue a pay-as-you-go TIF note in the amount up to $16,269,000 for this project. The TIF plan is attached to your staff report, provides a breakdown of how the increment will be distributed and used. The 200 Central TIF plan was transmitted for the required 45-day review to Hennepin County, the Minneapolis Public School Board, the City Planning Commission, and the Marcy Homes Neighborhood Association and other interested parties on January 27th, 2023. 2 public comments were received and were attached to the staff report. The TIF redevelopment contract terms require the developer deliver 72 units of affordable housing within 30 months of closing, with any additional provisions outlined in your report. Staff is recommending the approval of the 200 Central Tax Increment Financing Plan. Representatives from Lattice are in attendance, and I'm happy to field your questions if you have any.
Are there any questions for staff on item number 4? Seeing none, thank you for your report. We'll open up the public hearing on item number 4. I have one person signed up, and that is Jim Berman. And then we'll see if the project proposers are here and invite them to speak as well. Mr. Berman, welcome. And I just want to make it clear that you're to speak to the financing of this project.
All right.
That's what we're here for, the financing.
Right, I understand. Okay. I guess from that point of view, I'm in favor of the financing. I'm in favor of affordable housing. I have some other issues with the project, but this is not the venue for that. So, but in any case, I live across the street from the project, and I'm supportive of affordable housing. So I think the TIF district is appropriate.
Okay, great, thank you. Who is here from Lattice? Great, could you step forward and tell us a little bit about your project? And then also I'd like to ask you to meet with Mr. Berman, who did reach out to us in advance of this, and he has some concerns about zoning and planning related things that I'd like you to talk to him about after this I didn't let him bring all those issues up, but I do think he deserves to be heard by you and doesn't need to be in front of us. So if you could do that after the meeting, that would be appreciated.
Absolutely. Hi, committee members. My name is Liz Trouts. I'm a development associate at Lattice. We're really excited to bring this 359 revolutionary mixed income building to Minneapolis, and we really thank you for your consideration today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Rainville.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I have a question for Lattice. Do you anticipate any problems right now? The site is being used for the bridge construction. Are you confident that that's going to be done in time for you to take over?
Thank you for the question. So the Ames Construction is currently occupying the site on a land lease, and if we notify them within 30 days, they'll have to leave the site within 30 days.
Madam Chair, I have one more. Could you, before you leave or later, give me a contact so if there's problems during construction, the neighbors have a clear way to communicate that and resolve any issues?
Yep, absolutely, we can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'm going to move approval of the staff recommendation. I am not a fan of using tax increment for anything like this. However, we do have a revenue offset policy, and this meets the policy. In fact, I think it's better than the policy because you're putting in 20% affordable, but you're not taking out 20% of the cost in tax increment. In fact, you're substantially less than the 20% cost would be. So I think at a time at which we're trying to figure out how to build more affordable housing downtown, here's a developer who's actually willing to put it in their own project rather than buy their way out into somebody else's neighborhood. And I hold you in high regard for that, and I'm going to support the staff recommendation as a result of that today. I also want to thank our staff for really trying to move developers towards doing this work in their own projects rather than locating these affordable units in other places. That has always been our goal. This is a very good neighborhood, and it deserves all sorts of good neighbors at all income levels. And if we can be helpful in making that happen and it meets our policy, it's something we should all enthusiastically support. So thank you for being here. Thank you for meeting with the neighbor. I'm sure we'll hear about it, so that will be the next step. On the chair's motion to approve, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is approved. We will then move on to our last item, which is the consent decree between Bell Lofts and the city of Minneapolis. I want to invite Mr. Velasquez to come up and give this presentation. It is also a very rare situation where we would have a consent decree in place. I want to commend our staff and the Reg Services team for moving as quickly as you could to get to this point because you care about the people who are living in this building. And your passion for these residents shows this is a very fast turnaround for a problem that has been very vexing for a while. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you for agreeing to do this as a discussion item today. I think the committee is very interested in the consent decree that you worked out.
Excellent. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Goodman and committee members. I'm Enrique Velasquez, the Director of Inspection Services with Regulatory Services Department, presenting a consent decree for Bell Lofts North LLC. For the sake of background, many of you are already aware, as Chair Goodman already stated, about the events that took place the evening of December 28th at a 25-unit apartment complex in North Minneapolis located at 816 21st Avenue North. The property owner acted quickly to arrange for a few days of temporary shelter at variety of different hotels for the 50 residents that were at this apartment complex. Fire inspectors visited the property the very next morning to do a damage assessment and evaluate the nature of the damage, and then provided orders subsequently, orders to correct, to remediate a number of the life safety situations that were present. The flooding, a ruptured pipe that basically supplied the fire suppression systems for the entire building, elevator that was no longer operational, standing water throughout all 4 floors of the building. And we provided orders to correct by January 2nd. Very short turnaround time, but with standing water, you incur the risk of other airborne illnesses and health and life safety concerns. Inspectors returned on January 3rd. Crews were starting their work on addressing and mitigating the standing water. Moisture was across all floors, ceilings, walls, floors, lots of damage all the way through the building. And with these looming health concerns and moisture and standing water presented to residents, inspectors moved to condemn the property. Condemnation by itself makes it possible for renters to gain access to vital resources, such as access to legal aid if they need to contest for security deposits to have those refunds, those funds refunded to them, access to social service partners for long-term temporary housing or permanent stable housing, access to food and other resources that they might need for their children, for themselves, or if they're managing any sort of mobility or other disability needs. Condemnation helps provide that triggering mechanism so that they can move forward with that. Condemnation also provided residents with an opportunity to apply for renters relocation assistance, especially if the condemnation was due to neglect, negligence, lack of maintenance by the property owner. Post-condemnation, we moved to add a citation specifically for the requirement of payment of renters relocation assistance. Once we did that, the property owner did contest the citation and moved that this specific citation be heard in front of an administrative law judge. We were providing services throughout this time, partnering with, I love the name of this nonprofit, It Takes a Village, because it actually does take a village to raise up and help our residents to see the light at the end of the day. On January 6th, the Rental Housing Liaison Team, led by Demetrius Walker, the Alternative Enforcement Team, led by Manager Jessica Stone, and we all met with residents at one of the area hotels where these residents were staying temporarily to provide and review the status of the property, what the long-term prognosis might be, provide access and guidance on receiving some of these services, and then also to expedite access to the renters relocation process. In light of the property owners contesting the citation for renters relocation assistance, we did not want to prolong that matter and did not want to leave residents in limbo or delay their relief for any of these impacted families. So we moved to enter into an agreement, and the consent decree before you is comprised of 3 main points. Point number 1, Bell Lofts North LLC would provide 100% of the security deposits back to their renters, regardless of whether they were current with their rent, whether they were delinquent, whatever the status, they would refund 100% of the security deposit, full stop. The second point, Bell Lofts North LLC agrees to pay the renters $22,000, an amount equivalent to 1 month's rent. Payment would be made to the city of Minneapolis, and we agreed to essentially broker that and provide payment for a full 3 months to satisfy the renters relocation assistance commitment. And the third piece is dismissal of the citation for the renters relocation assistance once points 1 and 2 were satisfied. And I can note that following the Biz Committee meeting from 2 weeks ago, Bell Lofts North did confirm that all of the residents had received their security deposits in full and did make arrangements to pay the city the $22,000 so that we could finalize that obligation to all of the renters and residents. So now the third step is we will then move forward with dismissing the citation. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to stand for any comments or questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Velasquez. There's going to be some comments or questions, starting with Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Velasquez, for this presentation. And I know it's a receiving file, so there's not an action for us to take today. But as someone who, when I first heard about the situation, I was actually recovering from surgery, couldn't actually physically speak. But I was getting messages from my team, and I was getting messages from residents, and it was a really upsetting situation. And I really feel that, obviously, when you're displaced as a resident, there's very little that's going to make you happy in that situation, right? And even though we're doing this, it might not make the residents happy because they still got to deal with that displacement and that trauma. But I think that your team went above and beyond. I think that Reg Services went above and beyond from what the city usually offers, and what the tools that we usually have. We really turned over every stone, and I felt that from your team. And I'm apologize for blanking on the names of some of the members of your team, but we had a meeting, and the feedback that I got from them and the perspectives that they had, it was tremendous. And the care that they had for the residents that they were engaging with, it meant a lot to me to see that. And I think that it meant a lot to the residents. So I just want to thank Reg Services. I want to thank your team. I think that this is a good direction to go. I do think that this is what, if I'm understanding correctly, it does sound like we're going to have to, as a council, decide to replenish the relocation assistance at some point, because we're forgiving that. We're going to be, we're making that arrangement. But it does prove just how necessary this tool was, because at this critical moment, it got deployed, and it kept people, it got people more in a better situation than they would have been otherwise. So on all levels, thank you. Just wanted to offer that and maybe give some context to my colleagues about what's been going on, how frustrating it is. And again, it's not the residents' job to be satisfied with the situation, but it is our job to step up and improve their lives better than where the situation left them. So again, thank you so much.
Would you like to move to receive and file?
I will move to receive and file.
On Councilmember Ellison's motion, Councilmember Osman.
Thank you for that presentation. I know, displacement happens every day in our residents, but at very small scale. And I'm really glad to see regulatory services step up and stand up and for the policies and the law we have. So I'm glad to hear that the city is taking the lead, and I am, hopefully the presentation we got few meetings ago from wonderful regulatory services housing was very eye-opening for me too. So love to work with you closely and see what we can do to help, especially just the individuals instead of just the magnitude of residents, but displacements that takes place by our residents we have in city of Minneapolis. So thank you for that presentation and great work, all of you.
Anyone else? On Councilmember Ellison's motion to receive and file the staff presentation, as well as to thank staff for their incredible work on this. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is unanimously approved. Seeing no further business before us, and without objection, I will declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
At that point, it was kind of a large scale, maybe the gorge itself, maybe a portion of the gorge.